What's up, guys? Hey, I hope everyone is having an awesome day. And hey, I just wanted to pop on here really quick and talk about a few things that you may or may not have had access to if you're an adult now, growing up. And if you're a parent, maybe a couple different ways for you to help foster the innovativeness and the success of your children. First, I'd like to talk about teaching resilience to your children. Teaching resilience to your children is helping them deal with their emotions. Now, many times, you see these kids, they're getting, they're running all over the place. And, my little nephew, he's high energy, right? So basically, I noticed the other day, like, he was playing the video game and, he got locked out of the screen for whatever reason. He started getting real upset. He's like, "Oh, Uncle Tone, I don't know what's going on." And he started getting real frustrated. I'm like, whoa, slow down a second. And I helped him and I coached him through the emotions that he was feeling. And I broke it down to him why he was feeling that way. I gave him a couple techniques of how to deal with his emotions that would help him in the future. Now, do I expect him to understand the ideologies off the bat? No. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience from me as an uncle, or from him as from you as a parent, in order to instill a sense of resilience into your children. Now, resilience will breed emotional intelligence. Why is that important? Because once you get into the workplace and you're dealing on a professional level with others, you can't just fly off the hinges emotionally. You have to be very, very resilient in an emotional aspect. So what that does is, when you're talking the kids through their emotions and you're telling them different ways of how to handle it, and you're breaking down the psychologies of why they're feeling that way, well, that allows them to understand the procedure of recognizing why you're feeling that way, pointing out a couple different ways to handle that, instilling in a couple different ideologies to help them. And in turn, when they're older, they are going to be able to authentically communicate themselves, how they feel, their perspectives, to their peers and their colleagues in the workplace. Now, why is this very important? Well, if you're looking at your children and you want to see them be successful, it's most likely you'll want to see them in a managerial position and a leadership position within the business. Well, if you're discrediting and putting aside your kids' emotions, and you're not actually effectively handling your child's emotions, well, when they grow up, they're not going to know how to manage that. And that's going to translate into a negative aspect of when they get into business. They are not going to be able to explain themselves in the way that they need to, in an intelligent and controlled and emotionally intelligent standpoint. So for these children, especially if your children's hard-headed, I was super hard-headed, give my mother a lot of credit, my father, of course, a lot of credit, sitting me down and really love the videos, dude. I look forward to them, everything. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. I see you doing your thing with the poker. Big poker guru right here. Guys, check him out. Might be able to call him up for some tips and tricks in your next, ride down to the casino, that's for sure. I might be calling you up soon. So you want to foster a very, very healthy relationship with your child, dealing with their emotional aspects and giving them outlets to release their emotions, because that's going to help them in the long run, in business and in life. Secondly, innovation. You want to give the kids a very innovative and more than one creative outlet. Okay, if your kid's home playing video games all day, all parents hate that shit. Why do you exactly hate it? Maybe you don't know, because when you were young, you grew up playing outside with your friends. Well, this is very true. And that's a very, very, it's an old school mentality, which is fine, which is great. I agree with it. You got to get out there and interact and play with other kids your age, because that's going to foster connections and is going to help your kid to learn how to coexist and work along with other people, which is very important in the professional workplace. Outside of that, if we want to focus on, giving our kids ways to express themselves creatively, whether it be like building blocks through Legos, different types of intellectual board games where you have to learn the rules and abide by the rules, and there's a certain formula that you have to follow in order to win. What do these things teach? Well, when you're sitting your kids down and you're playing board games and you're getting them to play by the rules, well, every business has a set of rules that you're going to have to follow. Every entrepreneurship is having not only dedication but discipline to execute certain things in certain ways in order to become successful. Well, if your kids are not very familiar with rules of games and tactics that they'll need in order to understand the rules of engagement of life, well, then you're hindering them. If you're letting your kid hang out there, he's hanging on the front stoop with all his friends all the time and doing nothing else, well, what's the saying? How's it go? Too much of anything is a bad thing. So you want to make sure that you're giving your children, different creative outlets to build, number one, their self-esteem, and to build their creativity and their imagination in solving problems. Because what is a business after all? We define it at Culture Matters as the founder's vision to the solution of a problem. If I have a way to solve your problem, then the energy exchange of me transferring to you my intellectual property or IP, then my IP solves your particular problem. So I have my thought process, energy, transferring to you into your situation, changing the dynamics of your situation for the better, and then in turn solving your problem. Now, how do you transfer back to me the energy that I just gave to you to solve your problem? Well, we call that a monetary exchange. It is an exchange of energy. We put a dollar value on the exchange of energy that I'm giving to you to solve your problem, and that process is returned to me through monetary form. Awesome. You want your kids to be able to think outside the box, so you want to give them games and other things to play to get their brain creatively thinking. Now, what are some companies that have been able to solve problems very creatively? Let's think of Airbnb. Let's think of Amazon. Let's think of, there are tons of, online companies that are changing the game because they've been able to creatively solve a problem. And the only way, think of Amazon, okay? The only way they were able to do this is because they were able to see outside of the box. Now, if we don't attempt at least to instill these type of ideologies of thinking into our children, how could we ever expect them to grow up and be able to think outside the box? It's probably not going to happen. They're going to be so used to one way, and that's the only way they know, that's the only way that they're comfortable with, and they're going to stick with that one way train of thought. And as this technology age evolves, and we want to give our children the best chance at succeeding in an ever-changing space. The only way to do that is to help our children think creatively. Lastly, a point that I'd like to touch on is that should be very, very, very evident to you as a parent. If your kid's running around, maybe he's cursing, maybe he's jumping on the table, maybe he's throwing things across the room. Maybe jumping on the table is not a good example, but you see the kids and you're telling them, stop it, stop it, stop it. You're not supposed to do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. You got to calm down, you got to relax. Don't curse. Respect your parents, respect your mother, respect your father. You have to look in the mirror because kids mimic the behavior that they see most often. Children do what they see, and the same goes for employees. Now, guys, everything that I just said about children, okay? If you're a CEO and you're the owner of a business, take this content that I broke down into children so that you can relate to it, because most of you probably have kids. Think of your employees as children. You don't want to be putting on or creating an atmosphere that is non-innovative, that doesn't account for resilience and emotional intelligence, and for your employees, an outlet for your employees to handle their emotions in the workplace. A professional outlet, a professional structure in the business that is going to allow the employees to have a way to deal with their emotions. Not everyone's going to get along, okay? And this gets down to cultural alignment in the business. These things will create an aspect for your people to grow, okay? Now, with Culture Matters, we deal with CEOs one-on-one on creating cultural alignment. And cultural alignment, what that will do, will be able to give your people, what's up, Hove? Thanks, brother. It'll be able to give your people, number one, a purpose, because purpose is the precursor to passion. So if your people don't have any passion, it's most likely because you didn't instill any purpose into them, or your culture in your business is not clear enough to instill a purpose. Now, what does purpose do? Purpose, when people show up to the job and the workplace with a purpose, you're taking sales out of the equation. Because when people believe and form agreement with the values of the business and the purpose and the vision, mission of the business, the purpose why they're there every day to help people and to solve a particular problem, when these employees touch your clientele base, they're now able to authentically communicate the ability to solve their problem. And that's what a business is. So your employees are no longer selling, because you're only selling somebody something when you don't really believe in the product, or you don't have that instilled purpose in you of why you're showing up every day. You're just showing up for a paycheck, and that reflects itself in the dialogue of the conversation, in the enthusiasm of the employee, in the mindset of the employee, and that conveys right through to the clientele. And guess what? People are very good at reading bullshit. So if your guys are coming off like bullshit artists, it's because they are. They're being bullshit artists because they are not culturally aligned with the vision and the values of the CEO. Either that the CEO didn't instill them, or they just don't have them. Okay? So getting back to thinking of your employees as children, you want to direct your children and employees in the proper way in order for them to succeed. You want to give your employees a way to think outside of the box. You want to give your employees a way to creatively enhance the business for the better. Because guess what? If everyone feels like they have an inclusion right in the company, you never know what great ideas that people are going to come up with. So if you're only relying on one or two people to come up with the ideas of your business, you're not utilizing the full talents of your staff. Your staff, they come from many different areas and backgrounds. Who knows what they've done in prior jobs to come in to be with you. They may have other skills that they can provide for you through being able to have a way to get their creativity out there and a platform to speak their emotions to the upper management, and that can relate into fostering new creative ideas that are going to bring your business to the next level. So guys, hey, I hope you got some great value from this, and I hope that you can all relate by me trying to break this down into an aspect of parent versus child. Okay, so this video reflects a blog that I've made, and it's posted on my Facebook. You can scroll down, read it, check it out. It's a way for you to ingest this information through a visual. Everyone learns differently. Some people learn through videos. Some people learn through writing. Other people learn through audio. So hey, we're hitting you with all three aspects here. Okay, check out the blog. It's called What You Believe. What you believe in is what you're surrounded by. Okay? So what you believe is going to be dependent on the things that surround you, the people that surround you, the ideologies that surround you, the tools that surround you. So guys, I love yous all. I think you guys are all freaking awesome. I appreciate every one of you guys who leave me comments, who, join up with me to film content and to deliver value. You're going to be able very, very, very shortly and in the very near future, you're going to be able to have programs and ideologies and courses to take through our website, www.culturemattersuniversity.com. We are the millennials' choice, and we are teaching what college can't. Okay, so guys, you want to know more information about building your business, building your brand, content creation, okay, personal development, expanding your mind in order to help build your business and help authentically communicate what you do better to others. All right, you're going to be able to find these things on our website, and you're going to be able to join up for our university, and we are going to instill our practices and ideologies which gain us traction in our business and transfer that energy into you and your business. So be on the lookout, www.culturemattersuniversity.com. I can't wait to share it with all you guys, and you guys are going to love it. If you love these videos, you love these ideologies that, I'm talking about and that I'm spitting daily, you will love what we have in store for you. And guys, it goes beyond just, having a product out there. There's ways for you guys to get involved into the business, and helping. If we can help you, help yourself, help others, that helps us. So guys, I love yous all. Check me out. Go scroll down to my blog. Read it. Take 5 minutes of your time. I think that you'll get a ton of value from it, and have an awesome, awesome day.